When I called to ask for my son's wedding date, my daughter-in-law looked me right in the eye and said, "Oh, we got married yesterday. We only invited special people." I had just spent $3,400 on them over 3 years. I paid the rent. I bought the furniture. I filled the fridge when it was empty, but I wasn't special. What happened next? They are going to regret this so much. Stay until the end, because the courtroom finale will blow your mind. Let me rewind. For 3 years, I thought I was being a good mother. Every month, $500 rent transferred. Furniture for their apartment. Emergency cash when they needed it. My son Max avoided my gaze. His wife Lena sat on the couch I bought for them, smiling like she'd just won something. The pink dress I had picked out for her wedding. Hanging uselessly in my closet. $200 wasted. But do you know what the real gut punch was? I saw the wedding photos on social media. Her parents were there. Her siblings. Champagne toasts. Her white dress, the one I helped pay for with the rate $100 I gave for personal expenses. I saw everything I shouldn't have seen. 7 days later, they called. And this is where I finally found the courage. Ring ring. It's Lena, but now her voice is shaking. "Renata, the rent is late. The landlord is going to evict us." "You forgot to make the transfer." I didn't forget anything, and here is what I said, the words that changed everything. "I didn't forget, Lena. I just realised I didn't want to pay it. You'll have to manage from now on. You're special enough to get married without me. You're special enough to pay your own bills." The silence on that phone. I could hear my own heartbeat. For the first time in years, it wasn't me who was shaking. It was her, but they weren't done. Not by a long shot. Wait until you hear what they tried next. That night, I did the math. 36 months of rent. 18,000 food and supplies. 7,200 gifts. Emergencies, car loan, R8 on 200. Total? 400. 33,000 raise. From my retirement. From the money my late husband left me to live in peace. And I was done. The next morning, I went to the bank. I cancelled all automatic transfers. Mr. Klein, the manager, looked shocked. "These transfers have been automatic for 3 years. Are you being pressured, Ms. Richter?" "No," I said. "I've finally stopped pressuring myself." My phone exploded. Max, Lena, Max again. I turned it completely off. When I got home, 3 cars in my driveway. They were inside my house, going through my papers, and they had brought a lawyer. This is where it gets insane. They're about to try. Something that chilled my blood. The lawyer slides papers across my dining room table. "Ms. Richter, we're concerned about your mental health. These documents would grant Max a temporary power of attorney, just until you feel better." Translation? They wanted to declare me crazy and take control of my money, but I had learned something. I looked that lawyer in the eye and said, "Get out of my house." Max's face went red. "Mom, we have obligations. Rent, car payments, credit cards that you co-signed for. You can't just cut us off like this." "Oh, but I could." And I just did. The next day I hired my own lawyer, Dr. Weber, an expert in protecting the elderly from familial abuse. Yes, that's what it was. Elder financial abuse. So I changed all the locks, installed security cameras, opened new bank accounts they couldn't trace, got a restraining order, and you know what? For the first time in 3 years, I slept like a baby. My neighbour Eleanor came over with coffee. "I went through the same thing with my daughter," she said. "They get worse before they get better. But you are doing the right thing." She introduced me to her friends, women who had all been through this. I wasn't alone anymore. But Max and Lena, they were just getting started. What they did next almost worked. The doorbell rings. "It's a social worker from Adult Protective Services. Ms. Richter, we've received reports that you are at risk. Signs of paranoia. Refusal of medical help." My blood ran cold. They had called Elder Protection Services, trying to make it official that I was mentally incapable. But here's what they didn't know. I called Dr. Weber. Immediately, within 20 minutes. He arrived with my documentation, bank statements, perfectly managed, medical records, completely healthy. The look on the social worker's face when she saw the evidence of their abuse. Priceless. She closed the case right then and there. But then, the envelope arrived. A formal lawsuit for mental incompetency. They wanted a judge to declare me crazy and make Max my legal guardian. It was war. The trial is coming up. And what happens in that courtroom? You need to hear this. The courtroom. I'm wearing my best black suit. Across the aisle, Max in a new suit. Lena in black as if she's at a funeral. Maybe she is. The funeral of our relationship. Their lawyer stands up. Your Honour, Ms. Richter has shown clear mental decline, paranoia, isolation, manipulation by strangers. Every word designed to make my freedom sound like dementia. Lena takes the witness stand. An Oscar-worthy performance, crying about how I changed, how they just want to help. But then Dr. Weber cross-examines, Ms. Schuster, when was the last time you called my client without asking for money? She can't answer. Is it true that you told her she was not a special person at your wedding? Lena's face goes red. That was taken out of context. What context makes that acceptable? Then Max testifies, my son, swearing to tell the truth as he prepares to lie about my mental health. Dr. Weber destroys him. How much money have you received from your mother? I don't know. 33,400, does that sound correct? Maybe. How many times did you visit without asking for money? Do you, at 35 years old, require your 71-year-old mother to pay your rent? He couldn't answer. Finally, it's my turn. I stand up. I walk to that witness stand with 71 years of strength. Ms. Richter, Dr. Weber asks, why did you stop supporting your son? I look directly at Max, because I finally understood. What I was getting from them wasn't love. It was a business transaction disguised as family. My money was welcome. I was not. The judge steps out to decide. 2 hours that felt like 2 years. And when he comes back... Judge Miller sits down. His face is solemn. After reviewing all the evidence, my heart is pounding. It is obvious to this court that Ms. Renata Richter is in full possession of her mental faculties. Her financial decisions, however painful for her family, are completely rational and within her. Right, furthermore, the evidence suggests this. Lawsuit is motivated by financial interest, rather than genuine concern. The petition for guardianship is completely denied. I had won, not just the lawsuit, my freedom, my dignity, my right to live without abuse. Lena looked at me with pure hatred. Max looked at me. And for a second I saw regret. But it was too late. That night my friends threw a party at my house. We toasted to justice. To freedom. To women who refuse to be victims. Renata, my friend Alfreda said, today you didn't just win a trial. You got your life back. 3 months later I sold my house. Moved into a beautiful downtown apartment. I donated half my money to organisations that protect the elderly from familial abuse. I travelled Europe. I took art classes. I started volunteering. I was finally living the life I always wanted. Max and Lena. I never heard from them again. Through others, I heard they had to move to a smaller apartment. Lena got a job for the first time in years. Perhaps adversity taught them what my generosity never could. Some nights, I look up at the stars from my balcony and think of the woman I was a year ago. Scared, manipulated, believing I had to buy love. That woman is dead, and in her place. Someone who understands one fundamental truth. My name is Renata. I am 72, and I finally learned that the most important person I have to love and protect is myself. Now I want to hear from you. What would you do in this situation? Would you have cut them off sooner? Would you have given them one more chance? Leave your answer in the comments. I read them all, and if this story taught you something, hit that like button so more people find it, because out there, someone needs to hear that it's okay to choose yourself. Subscribe for more real stories that will make you think. Until next time, choose your happiness first. You are worth more than what you can give to others.